In our daily fix, an aggressive Mitt Romney trying to stop the Gingrich surge, attacking Newt Gingrich on immigration, on Freddie Mac, and accusing him of pandering to the Space Coast crowd.
I spent 25 years in business. If I had a business executive come to me and say they wanted to spend a few $100 billion to put a colony on the moon, I'd say you're fired.
NBC's David Gregory is moderator of Meet the Press. What a debate. I mean, watching them go at each other, Gingrich with this new debate coach certainly paying dividends. This was Gingrich taking, Romney with a new debate coach. Romney taking on Newt Gingrich on the whole Freddie Mac deal.
Governor Romney, in the spirit of openness, should tell us how much money he's made off of how many households that have been foreclosed by his investments.
First of all, my investments are not made by me. My investments for the last 10 years have been in a blind trust, managed by a trustee. Mr. Speaker, I know that sounds like an enormous revelation, but have you checked your own investments? You also have investments through mutual funds that also invest in Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Right.
Now, I think there was some fact-checking there that, in fact, Mitt Romney's mutual fund, which wasn't stock but which invests in Freddie and Fannie, was not part of the blind trust. You know, there's a lot going back and forth here. But the bottom line is, anytime Mitt Romney is talking about his trustee and his blind trust, that's not a good moment.
No, it's not a good moment. But for fewer debating points, it was the ability to neutralize that moment. And for him to turn and say, have you checked your own investments? You're doing the same thing. I think what was important about the debate is that Romney showed some fight, some specific fight, and he looked like he was in good shape to do it, like that he wasn't forced. He shut Gingrich down. Gingrich was asking for a truce. And Romney's saying, no, you know, maybe you should have the guts to say in front of me what you say on the campaign trail. So all of those moments, I think, said to skeptical Republicans, I'm Mitt Romney. I've got some fight. I can take it to Barack Obama. I can defend myself on some of these more sensitive areas for me. And oh, by the way, I can neutralize the guy whose whole campaign is predicated on strong debate performances. I think it puts him into a good position as we go into Tuesday.
And in fact, our NBC News Wall Street Journal poll shows that Mitt Romney's got to fight. He's got to hold the line. Florida is really a firewall here for him because take a look at the head-to-head. Look at that. The point spread now with Gingrich so far ahead nationally against Mitt Romney, Rick Santorum farther behind, Ron Paul. So in national polls, at any rate, even though Romney has pulled ahead in the latest Florida polling, he's got a real problem to stop Newt Gingrich right there.
Right. We're not talking about slamming the door shut of this nomination battle.
Because it's going to keep on going.
Puts him in a commanding position, yes. But if Gingrich does win, not only does the Romney team go into panic mode, not only does the Republican establishment go into panic mode, but then you go dormant for a while, where Gingrich would have some time to make some money for the campaign, raise money, and really regroup as he faces the contest ahead. So that's why I think Florida is so important.
When you look also deeper into our NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, take a look at the numbers of Gingrich's winning coalition. He's winning with all of the base groups that he needs within the party, among very conservatives, among Southerners, among Tea Party supporters. That's what he built based on that very strong performance in South Carolina.
Right, and yet, here is Florida, which is such an interesting state historically as we think about the 2000 election, and it's such a diverse state, even within the Republican primary, that the ability for Romney to win there does send a very powerful message, particularly after he rebounds off the loss. And he can make the case and perhaps get that media narrative behind that he's a stronger candidate, because you're right. If there is a Tea Party candidate, if there's a conservative alternative, it is certainly Newt Gingrich who's emerging to be that person. And you mentioned Rick Santorum. Santorum will join me on the program on Sunday. Is he helping Romney? Is he splitting that vote, that conservative vote? Is he something of a spoiler if he doesn't find a way to better his position?
But, of course, the establishment now really ganging up on Newt Gingrich, trying to help Mitt Romney stop Gingrich right there in Florida. When you look at the national numbers, Barack Obama versus Newt Gingrich, I think Peter Hart, whom we're going to have on later, is saying that this is a gold border moment in terms of 1964. This could be a massacre when you look at the advantage that President Obama has over Newt Gingrich head to head.
Look,
much more so than the competitive race that he would have against Mitt Romney.
And if you look at Iowa and you look at New Hampshire and you look at South Carolina, electability was the most important issue. Now, Gingrich did well in South Carolina on that score, but I think that's a tremendously important point. And, you know, we're down to looking at who are these two men? How do they make decisions? How would they lead? That's the real contest here. We were just having a conversation about that as I was getting ready for the program on Sunday. It is comparable to Obama and Clinton in that way, which they're not that far apart on policy, but it's really sort of taking their measure now as leaders and their ability to take the fight to Obama that's really going to be...
And those character issues that are so important. Mitt Romney now has people attesting for him, John McCain, in Florida. And John McCain was very popular in Florida. We saw how well he did there in the last race.
Right.
This is John McCain, who's also on your program on Sunday. And McCain trying to go after Newt Gingrich for Mitt Romney.
I have grown to know and appreciate Marco Rubio in the United States Senate. He's smart, he's tough, he's a thinker, he's very articulate, and I think he has an incredibly bright future.
Here, he's talking about Marco Rubio, who has not endorsed either side. He's very, very popular in Florida, the freshman senator, who both last night, when asked who would you put in your cabinet, both Newt Gingrich and Mitt Romney alluded to the fact that, well, Marco Rubio might be even higher than a cabinet level.
Right, no pandering going on in Florida there.
There's so much pandering going on in Florida.
No, but Gingrich is going to face off against Fred Thompson on the program Sunday. And, here is Senator McCain, who's making the case for Romney now after being, in a bitter contest with him 4 years ago.
What a race.
Yeah.
What a year.
It's going to be fun.
Thank you.
You bet.
We'll be watching on Sunday. Thanks, David.